Hey y'all, I am making a gate. Sorry I didn't get you in from the very beginning, but it just now occurred to me that you might want to see what I'm doing. But here you can see I have one wooden post and another wooden post. And I found the straightest little sapling tree trunks that I could find. And they look pretty good. Now they're probably not going to last forever and ever because they're not pressure treated wood and I didn't sink them in concrete. They're about 8 inches deep. I didn't even go 12 inches deep. This is not intended to be a permanent fence that's going to be here for years and years and years. If the gates fall down, I'll fix them. Or I'll get somebody else to fix them if I'm too old to do it myself at that point. So here we go. I didn't even measure this. This looked like a good width. Looks like it's going to be plenty width for my cart to go through if I need to pull my cart in, which is, like a wagon. And then this part between here and this T-post, I'm going to put more of the, not mosquito netting, but more of the bird netting between these two. And that should do it. Now I'm in the process of building the gate for it. So I've got the two fence posts, I've got the side post in place right now. And I put this piece of 2x4 on the ground to measure the height of the side post of the gate. I didn't want it to drag on the ground, so I put a piece of 2x4 on the bottom, and then I measured to the top of this. So that'll give it 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 of clearance on the bottom. Hope that'll work. Now come over here, show you. Here's my tools that I've been using: a sharpshooter spade and a post hole digger. Some of my favorite tools. And over here, I've been using my reciprocating saw to cut the post into size, into length. And so here are these two pieces right here are going to be the side pieces of the gate, and these two pieces right here are going to be the top and bottom of the gate. Now I'm going to need to come up with something to put in between, and I've got plenty of stuff to do it. So I'll get back with you once I've gotten more of it together. Oh, well, before I do that, let me show you. Okay, so there's my drill. It's not a cordless drill, though I wish it was, and it's heavy. And what I'm going to be using to put this together are these cabinet screws. They're 8 inches, what, 8? Is that 8 inches? Surely that's not 8 inches long. I don't know what the dimension is. Why is that 8 by 1 3/4? Maybe 1 3/4 is the length, and the 1/8 is just the gauge of the screw. The interesting thing about these is they have a star head. Can you see if you can see that? Yeah, you see the star head? So put that back in there. Let me show you this. It's in my pocket. This tightener thing, I don't know what you call this, but you all know what it is. To tighten the bit when I get it in there, just drop that down there. And this bit with the star point, come on, focus, there we go. See the star point? That bit with the star point came in the box of screws, so that's pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to be using to put these together. I think those will be long enough. I'm just going to wing it. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to make it work. And I think we all do that, and if we don't all do that, maybe we should. Don't stress over things so much. Okay, I'll be back with you. Okay, let me show you what I've done so far. So I have the two side pieces and the top and bottom piece screwed together on this. See that? So now I'm off to find the right size pieces to go in between. It's very wobbly at this point. It needs some more support, but I'm all for it, and I'm excited. This is going to be great. This is actually fun. Actually, most of the things we do here are fun. It's work, but it's fun work. I tell you right here, women with power tools are dangerous. So the plan, as the plan stands, come over here. I found 4 pieces that are very straight, very nice. These two of these at least are the same kind of wood. This one right here, I can see from the blotches, that's privet. And I know two of them are from my pecan tree, and I'm not sure what the other one is. I have no idea. Maybe all the rest of those are from the pecan tree. But as much as I despise privet, the plant itself is actually in the rose family. And so are apples. Apples are in the rose family. And we're not talking about genus. We're talking about the family group. And there's a lot of similarities. They're totally different, but they're still in the rose family. They're not roses, but anyway, it's botanical classification. It's not necessary to understand everything. I mean, I don't understand everything, and I certainly don't expect. I'm talking about botany, and I've got almost a PhD in it. Came really close. That's another story. So, here's what I'm using. These four pieces of the sapling trunks or limbs. I'm not exactly sure at this point what these were from. They could have been side branches off of some of the trees that I've been cutting down, are going to be perfect for the supports that I need for the gate that I'm building. I'll show you what I'm getting ready to do. You know, we always see furniture that's built with the cross pieces supporting underside. You know, frequently there'll be a triangle of wood or something in there to support it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the board at an angle. I have a square. So what I'm going to do is measure that there, and then I'm going to cut that at a 45-degree angle. And that way what I'm going to do is I'm going to butt it up. I'm not going to put it on top. I'm going to butt it right up to this board and screw into that. Okay, so I'm going to butt up this edge that I'm going to cut like that. And that's going to be even on the ground, the same level with that. And then, so I need that, and then I'm going to come over here, down here on this end, and I'm going to bevel along this side, meat chicken. I'm going to bevel right there. And then, so I'll have triangles. It'll make a diamond pattern, or practically a diamond pattern in the middle. And I think that'll stabilize it enough. We'll see. If I mess up, I've got plenty more sticks to work with. Not a problem. It's not like I went to the lumber yard and bought the lumber. This is all coming from the things that I cut down this winter and spring. I've got the end of that marked. You know, when I said I was going to put it on top of that, that's not right. Because it's going to be on the same level with this board, this the side piece. So what's going to happen is that's going to come underneath. That'll be on the bottom, like that. And then these two pieces will screw together. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to look good. We'll see when I get more done. I found this little piece of gate. Now, can you see these hinges right here? I'm going to unplug my reciprocating saw from my extension cord, and then just plug in my drill. Let's see. Now the next thing I'm going to have to do is change out the bit, which is not a big deal at all. So I found this bit right here fits perfectly on that one, perfectly. So I'm going to use this instead. Let's just swap these out. Put this one right there so I'll know where it is. Put that one back in, and then screw it in. Can you see what I'm doing? You have to have these, you know what, I'm going to get it as tight as I can get it with my finger tight, and then I'll use this. That's using your head. There's no point in trying to do the whole thing with this little tool. Get it finger tight first, and then tighten it down using the tool. Now I'm going to see if it's going to work. See which way is which. Okay, if the bit turns clockwise, that's going to be tightening it. If it turns counterclockwise, it's going to be loosening it. So it's turning clockwise, so I need to push the lever here. And you put this down in here. Make that fit just like that. Ooh, look at easy. Man, I have never had one of these. I've never used one of these hex head drill bits. I like that a lot. It makes it so easy. I may have to use those for some other things. I didn't realize how easy they were. Okay, there we go. So these are a little bit rusted, so we're just having a hard time going in all of them. I saw some bits like this in the hardware store the other day, and I got so excited. And then I went home, and I looked, and I found out that I had some already. I've mentioned before that when my husband passed away, his adult sons went through his toolbox and got everything that they needed. And anything that was left over, I got to keep. So these are some of the things that I got to keep that they didn't need. And I didn't know I had them until I needed them. And it didn't matter that I came into the marriage with the toolbox. I had my own tools. But you know, women don't need tools. Maybe you don't if you've got a man around the house to do all the work for you, but if you don't, then you definitely need tools. If you don't have tools, you need them. And there we go. I've gotten that off. I think what I'm going to try to do next, there's a couple of screws here, Phillips head, holding this board onto this little broken piece. That board I might be able to use for some kind of craft project. Well, that's how my mind works. So look on Etsy, look on Pinterest, and you'll find things that people have done with all kinds of weird stuff. And I've seen a lot of things done with pallet wood. Well, this is it's at least 20 years old, and been a fence post, and I think that's going to work. I'm going to be able to use that for something and maybe sell it on my Etsy shop. So that's what I'm hoping anyway. I think I can probably paint something on it, paint some kind of saying on it, and sell it on my Etsy shop and maybe make a little bit of money on it. Nothing. I hope anyway. And I also need my hammer to remove this nail here, and there's a nail here. You see that needs to come out. So, and you know what? I'm not building my gate. I'm doing something else, which is totally like what I do. Right, now I've got nails and screws out of this board. And somebody actually might want that with those screw holes and things in it. That's pretty cool. So that's gonna be good for a project. I'm gonna save this, and now I'll get back to working on my fence. So, I guess the next thing I need to do, what should I do? I can't decide. I guess the next thing I should do is get my gate and bring it over here, and then I'll work on making the pieces fit in it. Change out the drill bit, put in the good one again, the little star bit, and get ready to do it again. I like doing this kind of thing. My nose is starting to sweat and my glasses are running down my face. That doesn't make a bit of sense. My nose is starting to sweat and my glasses are running down my nose. I have sweat running down my face. That makes sense. Now, let's get this back in here. Back in there. We want it to be even. This bit is hexagonal, and the little prong things inside here have flat edges. You have to be sure that the flat edges of the prong are on the flat edges of the drill bit. Otherwise it'll wobble. Here we go. So there we go. I think what I'm going to do is put all these screws and things inside this box. I don't want to lose them in the grass. That would be bad. I don't go barefooted out here. But I do have animals that wander around, and a dog. I wouldn't want him to step on a rusty screw. And a big rusty screw might actually go in, penetrate my shoe and go into my foot. There's still some nails in this one. Oh, it broke, but that's okay. It'll make it more rustic, and people are really into rustic right now. You kind of hate it when the things you've been doing for a long time become mainstream. What I used to really hate was when I was doing a craft and I had gone to the library and looked up in a book and learned this new craft that I thought sounded like it would be fun, and do that for a year or so and have fun with it, and then all of a sudden it became mainstream, and you could find in Walmart or in Sears or in the different stores the things that I had been doing and instructions, and when everybody was doing it I didn't want to do it again, and then I didn't want to do it anymore. Are you like that? That's kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind doing having a hobby that everybody else is doing, because then you can find more of the products that go with the hobby. But it's kind of fun to do a craft that nobody else does and be good at it. And that's the way I think. Okay, y'all. I've been working for a couple of hours out here, and of course you can see this fence is not hung yet. Of course it looks kind of weird. I may have to reposition one of those posts. It might be easier to make the gate and then put the post in. But it's almost done, not quite done. I need to fill in the blank spaces, those triangles in the top and the bottom. And maybe some more down there in the bottom. I don't want the chickens to get through there, so I probably need to block those openings a little bit more. But I think I want something in these triangles, that big triangle there at the top and the triangle there at the bottom. But I haven't decided exactly what. But I'm liking the way it's looking. Figure out what I'm going to hang it with. I need some hinges. It'll all happen. I'm having a really, really, really good time putting it together. It's like putting together a puzzle. Say, okay, now what piece will fit here? So there we go. There's my partially finished gate. And I've got 3 more to do. I have on my baggiest jeans today because they are so comfortable. I think I've decided what I'm going to do. While I'm getting down here into place, I'm talking to you. If you can see me or not, I hope. I think I've decided what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do what's called a fractal design. You know what a fractal is? That's where you take a shape and then you divide it into smaller shapes that just look exactly like it. So for instance, I've got this big triangle right here, and then I'm putting this board in between here to make 2 smaller triangles. And then, let me come over here. I'm going to show you another one just in case. Oops. So then I'm going to take those triangles, I'm going to divide those into smaller triangles, like so. That's also going to form a square in here. All right. It is late in the afternoon and I've gotten more done. I don't know if you can see that down here on the right side, I have put chicken wire. But I think this is all I'm going to do. I just ran out of steam, and this is going to be really fine. I kind of like the way this is looking. Well, I'm here at the home center. Going to buy some hinges. See if they have what I need. I've got hinges. I did stop at the hardware store. And I got some hinges and I got some plants, of course. You know, when you go to the hardware store and they have a plant center, you've got a garden center. Plant center or a garden center, you buy plants. I got, what did I get? Well, I got some lemon thyme from my herb garden and some melonpodium, which is an annual pretty yellow flower that I'm going to put in the front by my new front walk. I think that'll be nice. And that's all I got. I got hinges and screws and some plants, and I'm home. The gate is hung. There's still a few things around that are not perfectly where they should be. But yes, look, the gate is in place. I've got hinges on. There's a piece of jute right here that shouldn't be there, but I'll get that off. That's coming from up there. That's all right. Oops. So there's one hinge. And then we'll come down here. And there, at the bottom, there's the second hinge. If you can see there, so there's that 2-inch mesh chicken wire. I had that. It was wider than the 1-inch mesh that I had, and it fit this, so I used that. And I don't have any baby chicks that are going to be trying to get in here. This is fine. So I'm happy with this. You know, as everything that I do, nothing's perfect. But it's not bad.